Come and be the one I ride with, get a fly with. You would not be my side chick. Come and be the one I ride with, get a fly with. You would not be my side chick. Come and be the one I ride with.
Hey beauties, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're not new here, hey girl, hey, how you doing? How you been? Where you from? Where you at? Now, by the title of this video, y'all already know what it's finna be about. Like, if y'all already watched the last video, this why y'all here, right? Y'all want to know about Mr. Irrelevant. Why are you not with Mr. Irrelevant? Why did you fall out with Mr. Irrelevant? Blase, blase, blah. So, y'all, I'm here to tell y'all the story. I'm here to tell y'all the story and put it to rest, okay? This is the second time in my life that I'm talking about this story. This is going to be the last time I'm going to tell y'all about this story. Well, it's the first time I'm going to tell y'all about it. But it's going to be the last time that we even tell a story to the universe, okay? So, boom. As y'all know, I met Relevant while I was getting my ass beat by Mr. Abusive, okay? Mr. Abusive was just beating on me. Y'all already know that from the last story. He was just abusive. No reason, that's just who he was. So, like I said, Relevant had helped me. He put me up in a cab and make sure I made it home, whatever the case may be. Now, I already knew Mr. Irrelevant, like I said. I already seen him around. I didn't know him, but I seen him around. And Abusive used to work for him. And Mr. Irrelevant used to come up to me a lot of times and he used to be like, hey, you want to get paid to make this run, or you want to make money to do this or move this here? And I wasn't into none of that. So I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. That's another reason why Mr. Abusive was beating on me. Mr. Irrelevant basically seen that, and he was like a knight in shining armor. He rescued me from that situation. And basically, I was with Mr. Irrelevant. Mr. Irrelevant was saving me. Y'all, when I tell you Mr. Abusive and his new girlfriend he got and her friends will always be trying to jump me, like, I am not even playing. Like, if on site was a person, it was them. They would really be looking for me. When they found me, they would be chasing me like they did not care. Oh, y'all like my nails? Y'all like my nails? I ain't showing them to y'all. These are press-ons, baby. I got them from Amazon. Boo, boo. Y'all like them? Yeah. So anyway, back to the story. So me and Mr. Relevant basically started talking. He already knew I was pregnant or whatever. He knew the situation. He is another one that did not know about Kingston. And was I telling him? No. Like, to this day, I think none of them know about Kingston but Abusive. Mr. Relevant don't know about Kingston. I mean, my family found out late, however, like, late, but they found out. But yeah, so I basically was with Mr. Irrelevant. Like I said, he had a little bit of money, so he had his own crib. But when I got with him, y'all, he was going broke. Like, when I say broke, I mean like his last 2 bands. So for all of the ones, for all of these years, was talking about, oh, you was only with Mr. Irrelevant because he had money. You was using him, baby. Mr. Irrelevant didn't give me anything. Okay? Anything that me and Mr. Irrelevant got, we got together. Any money me and Mr. Irrelevant made, we made together in the mud. He did not give me anything. Y'all took it all. Y'all took the man's pockets. Like, Mr. Irrelevant, we have the same birthday. We both are Aries. That's how I knew it wasn't going to last. We got the same attitude, but he just a boy version. He's a giver. He has a big heart. So when I tell you he was giving out thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for no apparent reason, and then when he got broke, people would shit on him. I was basically living with Mr. Irrelevant. Well, I wasn't basically living with him, but I was spending at his house for weeks at a time. And I was pregnant. I was pregnant with Promise. So I was spending the night at his house for weeks at a time, right? My grandmother knew about Mr. Irrelevant as well. So Mr. Irrelevant was going broke. He was going broke, couldn't afford to pay his rent. All these handouts he gave to people, all these people that was working for him, everybody did him dirty. Everybody turned their back on him. Nobody had nothing for him. He ain't have no money no more. What was the point of they being his friend, right? That's what they said. So everybody left him high and dry. Me, however, I stuck with him. I stuck with Mr. Relevant because he was a real one. Like, he was a real one. And I knew if I would have got with him when he had money, he would not have valued me or our relationship, none. Because he had so much money, he could buy however many females he wanted to. You know what I'm saying? So I was happy I didn't get with him when he had money. So he actually got to appreciate me for who I was and what I was around for. And you know, it was genuine. It was a real genuine when we got together. Of course, it had to be genuine. I was pregnant with another man's child, and he was holding it down. Like, he really protected me my entire pregnancy. They was trying to get me. Abusive and his peoples, they was literally trying to get me all the time. I had to be careful what I posted on Facebook. I had to be careful sharing locations. I had to literally be careful. It was like my life was on the line, but like not to get is to get beat up. But I don't even understand why. You had a whole new girlfriend, abusive, and you still following me. Nigga, you love me, dummy. But anyway, Mr. Relevant was getting put out his house. Like I said, in the 16 and pregnant story time, I had went to my grandma and I had asked her, can he stay with us? So she was like, hell no, you dumb, da 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 da. She had wanted to let him move in a few weeks later, right? So me and him was basically living in. Me and his relationship, it's really not much to say about our relationship because it really was short-lived. Like, I was pregnant with Promise when I was with him. The whole time I was with him, I gave birth to Promise. Like, nothing really happened. Nothing really happened besides everything I explained in the Baby Zaddy series. Like, y'all know I was messing with other people and he used to get jealous and stuff like that. But like I said, nothing really happened that was so like amusing during our relationship. I gave birth to Promise. That happened. And then I got pregnant with Cecilia 6 weeks after. Remember I told y'all Baby Daddy series, I got mad. I broke up with Mr. Rutherman. I went to move to Delaware with my dad. And then my grandmother got sick with cancer. So I came back to New York. And I was still pregnant. Me and the Relevant had linked back up or whatever. And we decided, okay, so we're going to get back with each other. Now, when I had went to Delaware and when I was pregnant, the only reason why I was able to go because Mr. Relevant had got locked up. He had got locked up. I don't know why. But when I got to Delaware, he started calling me on the jail phones. That's how I knew that he was locked up. But I was so mad at him that I wasn't even talking to him like that because I was so mad. Like, child, I was just pregnant for 9 months. Why would I want to be pregnant for 9 more months? Like, I'm sitting here putting the blame on all him when it really takes two. Girl, use protection if that was the case. I came back. We said we was going to get back together, whatever. Like I said, I had gave birth to Sincere now. So now I got Promise and Sincere. So me and Mr. Relevant, like I said, we shaky. We real shaky with it. The relationship is real shaky. It's really not going nowhere. Some girl randomly hit me up and she's telling me like, yeah, I just wanted to let you know I got a baby with Mr. Irrelevant. I was pregnant while you was pregnant and he told me not to tell you. So basically the man that went, cheated on me, had a baby on me, all types of stuff. Like, let me tell y'all something. The same energy I had with Mr. Irrelevant, I wish I would have had it for everybody else. I wish I would have had it for Troy, Blue. When I tell you, Mr. Irrelevant, all he had to do was 1 to 2 things, and I was out. It was no, oh, we trying again, I'm gonna give you another chance. No, I was not tolerating that. Oh, you do me dirty, you done. That's it. I really, really wish I had the same energy for everyone else. The same way it was so easy for me to cut him off, I really wish it would have been so easy for me to cut niggas off. But it wasn't. The baby situation, it was like no coming back from that. You lied about having a whole child, the girl pregnant while I'm pregnant, and I'm sitting over here like it was crazy. So the times that she was missing, you was in the hospital while she gave birth. Like, the girl was telling me he had went to the hospital when she gave birth and all of this. Like, it was crazy. Like, I give birth to Sincere, you in jail. You're not even there. I give birth to Promise, you pass out. But this girl sitting here telling me that you just experienced your whole daughter's birth and then your daughter looked just like my son. Like, it was rubbing me the wrong way. And then to find out I was sitting here living with you, damn near living with you in your crib, and the girl that was pregnant the whole time was the girl downstairs from us, Mr. Irrelevant. Like, it's like these dudes just do stuff and just don't care. So you went and got the downstairs neighbor pregnant, bro, and she used to talk to me all the time. She knew I was his girl. Like, why would you not be like, yeah, hey, I'm pregnant and it's his kid? You gonna wait until a second baby? Like, girl, tell me what's really going on. So that happened or whatever, right? It was really no coming back from that. I was like, it is what it is. So now we just straight co-parenting. He come over sometimes, he see the kids, da-da-da-da. So boom, one day Mr. Irrelevant, he moves to Connecticut or whatever, right? So now he got a whole nother girlfriend. He got a whole new girlfriend, he moved to Connecticut. So we was having this thing where he will always be like, yo, you acting mad funny. Like, I just want to take my kids. By the way, he always, to this day, he always claimed promise as his. Always claim promises his. He don't matter if we came into a relationship and I was really pregnant. He always claim promises his. Okay, so he was telling me, oh, it's not fair that he don't get to take his kids. He want to take his kids and all this stuff, right? Hold on, my head itching. So I'm like, cool. Mind you, this was months and months later, probably about a couple years later, because I was already with Troy at the time. So I was already dating Troy at the time, and a relative came over. He was telling me he wanted to take his kids. Like, he tired of coming to see them, and I never let them take them, and all this other stuff. So I'm like, you know what? You right. So I gave him some leeway. I said, here, take the kids. You bring them back in exactly 2 weeks. I want my kids back in 2 weeks, y'all. 2 weeks passed, no kids. Y'all, when I tell you Mr. Irrelevant was on a damn near on a kidnap thing, like, he was wilding out. So I'm like, yo, bring me my kids, bro. Bring me my kids. He was not trying to bring my kids. He like, you know, I'm their dad. I'm gonna bring them back when I'm ready. You got them all year round. Let me be a dad. That's the only thing I say about Mr. Irrelevant. When it came to him being a dad, oh, he was gonna be a dad. He was gonna be a dad. He was going to be there how he wanted to. But I'm sitting here telling him, I'm like, bring me my kids, bro. I need to make sure they good. Like, I need to, like, they got doctor's appointments, dentist appointments. They got stuff coming up. Bring me my kids. He would bring me my kids. Y'all, this last day, he brought me my kids back. Y'all, my kids was pissy as hell. I had just bought Promise these Uggs. They looked like somebody took a razor and cut into my daughter's Ugg boot. I had just bought Sincere the chicken and broccolis. Y'all know what the chicken and broccolis is. You know, the beef and broccolis and the chicken and broccoli is the boots. Yeah, niggas had took pen and marker and colored all on my son's boots. Kids' hair looking crazy. They smelling like straight urine. They look malnourished. They starving. All that. I'm like, what the hell? I've been asking for my kids for weeks, and this is how you bring my kids back? And who cut my daughter's Ugg? Who did this to my son boot? He like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, so you don't see none of this? Bro, when I tell you, he tried to drop them off and run out the door. I'm like, bro, your girlfriend? Like, who is she, bro? Because me and her got a problem now. Somebody purposely did this to my daughter's boot. You can see a clear blade cut in the boot. He not trying to tell me nothing that happened with my kids. Nothing. Mind you, my kids talk, but they still too young to really tell me what's going on. I'm keep telling Mr. Irrelevant, I'm like, Mr. Irrelevant, tell me what's going on. Like, I even try to fight him because I was so mad. I said, you going to bring my kids back looking like this? But if y'all know, I don't play with Mr. Irrelevant because Mr. Irrelevant got hands. So I was like, he kept trying to go out the door. So I held the door. I told my mother to put my kids in the shower, feed them, and all of that. Y'all, I done called Troy on the phone. Troy, come around the corner and make sure you come with your friends because I'm going to need y'all to whoop Mr. Relevant ass. Because he done sat here and mistreated my kids. Got this girl cutting up my kids' stuff. Come over here. Mind you, did I tell y'all the whole entire suitcase that I sent with all of my kids' clothes for them 3 weeks that they was gone? Because I told him to keep them for 2 weeks. He kept them for 3. Them 3 weeks that was gone, he came back with nothing. None of my kids' clothes I sent. None of their changing shoes. Nothing. I never got that stuff back to this day. My kids never got their suitcase with none of their clothes in it back. Like, I don't know what happened to their Pampers, their wipes. Because I bought a case of Pampers, case of wipes. Where all my kids' stuff went, I don't know to this day, but he bought them back. What they had on, pissy as hell, starving as hell, all that. I called Troy and his friends. So Mr. Relevant steady trying to run out the door, like, oh, why you ODing? I'm like, nah, I ain't ODing. Yeah, let me show you. So, long story short, Troy and his friends jumped him. I helped, of course. I was the number one punch him in his face because I don't trust that girlfriend of his. I still to this day don't know what she did to my kids. I don't know what happened. I do know my kids was mistreated. You can look at them and tell they didn't eat. They pamper wasn't changed in hours. It was sagging and soaking through their pamper. You know how if a kid pees so much in a pamper and you got that stuff coming out of the pamper, that's how my kid's pampers was. It was like, nah, something happened. You ain't telling me. So yeah, they beat him up. That was basically like the last time that I really was like seeing him like that. But the last time, let me explain. So my best friend used to mess with his brother, his blood brother, right? So we gonna call his brother Fatty, because that's what he was. Fat, nasty. So my best friend was at my house at the time or whatever, and a relative was coming to my house to see the kids. Now, since that incident that happened, this was like a year had passed. So like a year had passed, and the agreement was anytime you want to see my kids, well, your kids, our kids, you can come to the house and see them, but you are no longer allowed. You are no longer allowed to take my kids outside of this house. You are not to be trusted since you brought them back the way you brought them back. So he said, cool, fine. Him and his brother had pulled up to my house. Mind you, my best friend was there. She was chilling with the brother. My best friend had wound up leaving. So now it was time for Mr. Irrelevant and his brother to leave. I was in the living room and I was smoking with the brother and Mr. Irrelevant. So I had went in a room because Promise had woke up. Sincere was still asleep, but Promise had woke up. So I'm sitting here and I'm rocking Sincere to sleep. I'm rocking Promise to sleep. So you know how you laying down on your bed and you rocking somebody to sleep, but you rocking them and you wind up falling asleep. So I wound up falling asleep. Y'all, I feel somebody touching on me. So I'm like, what the hell? Like, who's touching me? So I remember that I had Promise on my chest because I was rocking her to sleep. But you know, once they get sleep and it's like the turn position, so now the kid, like the head right here and you hold them like right here, and they like next to you and y'all just both sleep. I'm feeling somebody touching on my legs, like going up, trying to touch my private and stuff. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? Y'all, I jump up. When I jump up, I see Fatty, which is Irrelevant brother. I see him running towards the living room. Like he's running out my room, running towards the living room. Of course, I gotta adjust my eyes to really open it, but I know what I saw. I saw that fat boy running outside the living room. So I'm like, what the hell did he do? So as soon as I looked at Promise. I seen she was still in my arms. I said, nah, this nigga just touched me with my kid in my hand. I don't trust this nigga. Why are you still in my house? Why you even touch me when I'm asleep? And where is Mr. Irrelevant? So I go out there. I start wailing. When I say wailing, I start wailing. So as I'm wailing, Mr. Irrelevant, he walk in the door. Like, he ring the bell, whatever. He come in the door. He's like, yo, what happened? So I'm telling him, your brother just touched me. Your brother just touched me. I did not want him to touch me. Your brother just touched me. So the brother's like, oh, she lying. Bro, I would not even do that. Like, he's talking mad regular. Like, he really didn't do it. He like, bro, you know me. You know, I wouldn't even do that. Da-da-da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't even do that. Feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like, she capping. She lying. Like, bro, you touched me while I had my kid in my hand, bro. Stop lying. And you talk to my best friend? Y'all, I done called my best friend. I done wowed out. Like, your man is this and that. Y'all, my best friend came over. Y'all, we started jumping this nigga. We started jumping this nigga because Mr. Irrelevant wasn't doing nothing about it. Like, he was not doing nothing about it. So after we did what we did, they both left. So a couple of weeks, Mr. Irrelevant still coming to the house seeing the kids or whatever, and he like, yeah, me and my brother had got into it because I checked him about what he did to you. That's mad disrespectful. How would he do that with my daughter right there and this, that, and the third? And so I'm like, all right, cool. Y'all, tell me how we just gonna get this story over with, because me talking about it just pissing me off all over again. Y'all, tell me how a few weeks passed, right? Me and Mr. Irrelevant get into an argument. We get into an argument, y'all. It was some little stupid argument, a little dumb argument about some fucking socks. For the kids, about some fucking socks. Y'all, do you know this man, Mr. Irrelevant? He comes out his face. He like, yeah, that's why I was talking to my brother the other day. And my brother said he didn't even touch you, that you wanted him to touch you. And he did touch you because you wanted him to, and that you liked it. You liked what he did to you. So I liked what he did to me with my daughter on my chest. So that's fine for your brother to be going around touching your baby mother and I have our child on my chest? And you gonna tell me I liked it? I liked it? That was the last time I seen Mr. Irrelevant. That's the last time I said anything to Mr. Irrelevant. That was the last straw with me. That was the last straw with me. Anybody who could sit here and accuse me of doing something so dumb or liking something like that when I have my child on me is a fucking narcissist, bruh. Your brother know what he did. You know what he did. I know what he did. And if my daughter was older, she probably would have knew what he did. Like, even my best friend stopped messing with him because even she know what he did. But you gonna sit here and tell me I liked it? I liked it? Yeah, y'all, Mr. Irrelevant been dead to me since. And that was over 5 years ago. That was way over 5 years ago. That man been dead to me. He's going to continue to be dead to me. And we don't bring him up on this channel. That's why his name is Mr. Irrelevant, because he is irrelevant. And will continue to be. So yeah, y'all. If y'all like this story, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you follow all of my social medias. And up until then, deuces.